What is going on? The Ryan O'Brien Talk Sports plus Nick Larson. As always, shout out Sleeper Picks. I didn't really do much promotion for this show, so I hope you guys did. I've been running around. Before Ryan got here, I was telling Nick that my brother and my cousin are both moving in the same weekend/week. So they've been pestering me for help. So it's been a lot of boxes moving, a lot of just time away from what really matters, which is betting on sports. But we're here tonight.
Definitely.
So how are you guys doing?
Good, man. Pretty excited. No NBA kind of sucks, but not that big of a deal. National championship tonight, past everybody's bedtime on the East Coast, will be a lot of fun. I'm actually up late, so it doesn't really affect me, but I was definitely blown away by a 9:20 national championship game. But I guess it is what it is. But fun night of sports. I was kind of worried that we'd have like a really, really tiny, shitty MLB slate, but that is not the case. I thought there was a lot to like here.
Agreed. Yeah, I like the MLB slate, and we'll try to make Ryan a Brewers fan before the show ends tonight.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm sure that will go over well. We'll make everyone a Brewers fan. I think everyone's having that FOMO in Philadelphia. I know Ryan is not from Philly, he's a Philly sports guy. Everyone's having the FOMO of Rhys Hoskins, watching him have success over there in Milwaukee, and meanwhile we're watching some lesser talent take over, as you can say, in a nice way. But I think the Brewers are a fun story. I think the whole Central is a fun story. Sure. Pirates might be the best team in the entire league. I don't know.
Had to get the pandering in. We knew the pandering was going to come about.
I took the Pirates money line after going to the bottom of the ninth at plus like 550, and they won. They're fun. They're fun. I know we have them tonight, so hopefully they can keep winning games for the fight of PA. But how many plays do you guys each have? I only have 2. I didn't have time today really to do too much digging.
2, 3, 4 kind of, but one's an RBI stack. I had 5. The odds got away from me on one of them though, so I guess we'll say 4.
I've got like 7.
Yeah,
7. That's
Nick's
perfect.
got us loaded, locked and
I
loaded.
figured with a big MLB slate, you guys would save me because, like I said, I didn't get home until 4:45 for show at 5. I mean, I had the plays earlier, but sometimes you have to make sure with line movement and whatnot. You can't always prep. I woke up at 6 o'clock to do prep and whatnot, but what's available at 6 a.m. is way different than what's available throughout the day or lineup-wise or information-wise. So I appreciate you guys for having my back there.
You could say Brian is the Tobias Harris of the show. He gets paid all kinds of money, but doesn't.
I don't get paid anything. Do you guys get paid? I don't get paid for this at all. They keep saying that the incentive is just to have fun with friends, and I don't usually have much friends. So
they bill me weekly for being on this show.
You get that
I
big
have
ass
to pay
bill
to be here.
Yeah, I think Nick is the one. Well, we got a big star. We used to get paid for the show. Then we brought in Nick, and we had to sacrifice all of our income for him.
That's right.
But
that's right.
No, you guys want to go into it? Nick, do you want to go first since you have the most amount of plays?
Yeah, I'll group the first 3 together since they're kind of all the same here. So these are players not to strike out. The first one is Corbin Carroll of the Diamondbacks, plus 100 on DraftKings. He, I believe, has 1 strikeout this year. Strikeout percentage of 4.8%. Going against Freeland, not a big strikeout guy by any means. So I like that one.
Not a big MLB pitcher guy either. He's
a big 20 ERA guy right now.
Yeah, right. He can allow 4 runs in the first inning, and he might lose some. Yeah. He might lower the ERA a little bit.
All 3 of these plays are plus 100, and they're all from the same game. The second one is Charlie Blackmon. Another guy not striking out, only 1 strikeout on the year, 5.3% K rate. He does go against Gallen, but he does get the lefty-righty matchup there. And Gallen obviously not the same on the road in Coors Field. And then the final one from that game is Gabriel Moreno of the Diamondbacks, plus 100 also, 6.1% strikeout rate going against Freeland. So plus money on all 3 of those. So if you hit 2 out of 3, you're good.
So I tail a good amount of these, but I have to ask you. I've never asked you before. Do you watch these at bats? Like, can you stomach watching these?
Dude, this is the worst. This, I don't know why I do this, but like this in the no home run market, I just like, I don't know, torture maybe with watching stuff.
It's like obscene markets to bet on, but I love it.
Yeah, like you watch, especially like leadoff guys like Corbin Carroll or Blackmon, you're like, first at bat, please don't strike out, please don't strike out. And then you're like looking at the end of the game and be like, dude, we cannot let 2 more guys get back on, otherwise he's going to hit again. So yeah, it's not the most pleasant thing to watch, but they've been all right so far.
That's all you can ask for.
Can you guys hear me? Is my sound okay?
You're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my I think I lost everything for a second. Oh, and everything's going on. This is crazy.
Yeah, you're good on my end. Hopefully the chat's at end as well. I will go ahead and kick it off to me. I think we have a frozen Brian. Yeah, that's all right. He doesn't need to talk for a few minutes. So I'm going to go with Luis Castillo over 5.5 strikeouts. I believe FanDuel now has the best line. This line's been all over the place, but we're getting this at plus odds. It's plus 116. I got it plus 115 earlier, so even better now. FanDuel has the best price. So, but firstly, he's over in 69%, dating back to the beginning of last year. I mean, this is a borderline, elite K guy. He averaged 10.01 Ks per nine last year. He's averaging 10.13 per nine in the early parts of this season. Last season, 77th percentile in chase rate, 81st percentile in whiff, 77th percentile in K rate. He's got back-to-back seasons of 27% or higher K rate. So, I mean, like I said, borderline elite here. He faced Cleveland last start, who is one of the tougher matchups in the entire league. They have the 5th fewest Ks per game and the 4th lowest K rate to right-handed pitchers. He ended up with 7 there. I wouldn't go ahead and say Toronto's the easiest matchup. I mean, they're probably a bottom 12 matchup, but if he got 7 versus Cleveland, I'm feeling pretty good. There's nothing really scaring me away here. They have a 22.2% K rate versus righties. Let's just call that average. Outside of an opener, they've faced 9 starting pitchers. 5 of the 9 have gone over, including 8 from Gill yesterday. Even Marcus Stroman got 6 against this lineup. He did have a little help from the ump, so hopefully we get a good ump here. Luis, obviously, he's always been a workhorse. He goes deep into games. Earlier, he was minus 215 to go 6+ innings. He now has that 18.5 plus line. 18.5 outline. Maybe he even gets into the 7th inning here. So this is one guy where opportunity, we will not have a shortage of opportunity here. So I like this prop. I honestly am like a little sketched out at these plus odds, but I can't resist, man. There's nothing to scare me away here. I really like this spot for plus 116 for him to get 6 strikeouts.
You don't usually see his line that low.
No, funky line for sure. But I'm gonna bite. And then Brian, I suppose we can kick it off to you if we can hear you, see you, and all that good stuff. Can't hear him.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there it is.
Oh, we're good now. My bad. I don't know what's going on there, but I was just saying, Ryan, you said it really nicely with sometimes you're sketched out when you see a line that's like plus money or playable, and you're like, why is that playable? So you get a little freaked out because you don't understand why that's the case. And that kind of is a nice segue for my play. So we talked before, a little bit about it before the show started, that sometimes in baseball it can be really frustrating because you can feel like you have a good read, but you play the wrong prop. So for this first play, I actually split I split the same read, but I kind of split up in 2 plays, so half unit. So that way, hopefully one or both cash. And this is one of those things where I'm surprised it's so playable, but did you see that the Dodgers money line today is like minus 130? And
sure did.
Their first 5, which gives you a push, is minus 120 right now.
Sure is.
So I bet the Dodgers minus 120 for the first 5 line. And then I also took a parlay, it's like a PPD if you didn't factor in money lines that is on FanDuel. So it's James Paxton, 4+ strikeouts, Bailey over, under 5.5. So over under 5.5, Paxton 4.5. 4+. It's plus 102, I believe. And that's basically thinking that in theory, Paxton should be fine. And Ober looked awful last week. He allowed 9 runs?
Really bad.
Is it 9? I think it was
Ober under or over?
Over under.
Do it.
Okay.
Over under and Paxton alt. I think it was it 9 runs? You look it up. Was it 9?
I didn't look that up directly. I should have, but I can tell you that his expected ERA is 70.57 after 1 start. So there's that.
It was 8 runs. I was wrong.
Someone's worked in Freeland, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's 8 runs. So here's my thing. Dodgers are not the best team to back and under for strikeouts, but I actually like Bailey over. I think he's like he's showed some good stuff in the past, but he looks so. I watched I want to say I watched his last start, but I should say I watched his last inning because it really was just 4 outs. He just looked terrible. I mean, he was not hitting spots. I just think it's one of those things where that's why I split it with the money line as well for the first 5. I don't know if he's going to see enough opportunity to get 5. I mean, get 6 strikeouts here. I just think the Dodgers is such a team that, despite their strikeouts, they also mash. So against a guy like this, they should be able to mash, work walks, long counts, hit some home runs, whatever to call it. Like I think their 2.5 first 5 is also very interesting at plus money. But I just think that people are giving James Paxton a lot of hate based off Twitter. Everyone hates this guy. He gets priced like he's some kind of terrible pitcher, and he's never been great. But he's not. Like, am I wrong, Ryan? Like, does he deserve this kind of? Like, this is 2 weeks in a row. I've not played him. Last week his 5 in the win was like plus 140. I just think
I've looked at that 5-5 line pretty much all day, staring at it. I don't really have a good reason to not play it. It's another plus odds one too. So I like this spot for him.
I think it's like you said, like with the Dodgers striking out so much, I think they have that factored in somehow, which it might not even matter with that offense though.
Yeah, so I think the 5.5, the first 5, you get a push. So if it is tied, you call it that. But I'm just trusting Paxton here. I mean, it's only one start, but his xERA, his x batting average, it's all the 70 percentile. I mean, I'm not asking him to come in here and be prime Cy Young. I'm just asking him to limit an offense that has the lineup for the Twins is not great today either. So you give me a 3-1 or you give Bailey Ober allowing 8 runs again, however you want to cash this. I went this over the 2.5 first 5 just because I think whether it's 2 runs or 8 runs for the Dodgers, I'm trusting Paxton to have the better of this matchup. So 4 strikeouts, I think you should find that pretty easily. And then, like I said, Ober, I think should just really struggle. This team should. You don't want to say should because then you look like an idiot later. But this is just an all-time stinker of a matchup for a guy like Ober that's throwing turkeys.
Yeah, he allowed 14 runs in 14.1 innings in spring as well. So he's just
that's what I'm saying. Like it's not even like he came out and he like guys like we talked about before the show. Mitch Keller has looked kind of rough to start the year, but it's like what you're getting with Mitch Keller. Bailey Ober is just not throwing the ball well at all. Like he looks rough. So give me the split, the 4+ and under 5.5 strikeouts parlay for that game, and then give me the first 5 with the push for the Dodgers at -120.
Good deal.
Perfect.
And watch the Dodgers score 6 runs, but they lose the first 5, 7-6, and despite only going 2 innings.
Don't even put that in the air, man. Just don't even do it. Just stop.
6 Ks.
6 Ks, 7 runs. It's gonna be a wild game to watch. Make sure you put your TiVo. That's the whole thing. Your 20 years in the past TiVo.
That was like Bobby Miller the other day. Alan texted me and said, "Hey, do you think Bobby Miller can get 4 strikeouts against the Cubs?" And I was like, "Yeah, pretty easy." He struck out the side in the first. I was like, "Well, he got 3 already. Didn't get 1 and didn't make it out of the second inning."
Yep.
I was like, "Whoop."
What a blow-up inning that was. That was crazy to watch.
Austin Gomer had 7. So it's a weird sport, man. Gomer struck out 7 at Coors in a day that had 30-mile-an-hour winds, dead center. Sometimes you can think all you want and you have all the numbers to support you. And then
I think what was it, Pepiot that had 11 yesterday or something there?
Yeah. At Coors too, right?
Yeah, at Coors.
I've always liked his talent. He's a good pitcher.
My second play is another no strikeout, but it's a parlay. We hit one of these 2 days ago. Jeff McNeil of the Mets not to strike out. Luis Campusano of the Padres not to strike out.
What a stud that guy.
Yeah, I really like him. And then is it bad that I'm saying I don't know if I'm confident in the last one here, but Luis Arias, who struck out like 10 times last season, already has like 6 this year. But I think he's kind of figured it out.
I know at least 2 of them were 3-pitch strikeouts, right? Like
yeah, he'll lead off the game. That will make you stop watching real quick. He looked a lot better the last 2 games against St. Louis. He had 4 hits yesterday, back to his line drives opposite field and doubles in the gap. So hopefully he's back on track. But you never, ever see his no strikeout line, usually under -250. Even yesterday was -300. So crazy line for him. I'll take the chance with him.
Yeah, I think you have to. Those odds are ridiculous. I suppose that kicks it over to me. There's a -140 floating around, so I guess I'll throw it out there. I did take Mitch Keller over 5.5 earlier today. It was -115. ESPN's hanging a minus 140. It's a little pricey for my tastes in a lot of situations, especially K props, to be honest with you. I don't hate it. I probably wouldn't touch the 6.5, but if you wanted a little extra action, I do like Mitch Keller over 5.5 strikeouts. Minus 140, I'll kind of leave that up to you if you want to hop on that. But I'll go ahead and just skip to my very next prop, which I'm actually going to go with stolen base prop. Fairly short analysis. It kind of speaks for itself, but half unit stolen base prop. Let's go Ronald Acuna, man. He had 73 steals last year. He has one so far this year, and it was opening day. You don't get many 7-game stretches where this guy does not get a steal. So I'm going to just fully buy in and just say he's due and just die on that hill. Like, he's definitely due here. He gets a nice matchup versus Julio Teheran, who he's 4 of 6 against at the plate. He has 2 steals on. And in fact, they played back-to-back games. I'm sorry, Teheran started back-to-back starts against them last July. Acuna had a steal in both of those games. Like I said, he had 4 hits and 6 at-bats against him. Teheran allowed 9 steals in 71.2 innings last year, so solid target. I like the price. It was plus 195. I believe that's still the best one out there right now. So, yeah, give me an Acuna stolen base.
He's getting on base for that. He can't watch strike 3, so you got to make sure he gets on base in a not bitter way at all.
Yeah, of course. Actually, I have a fun little. I just decided on the spot if I can find it, but there's specials for the top and the bottom of the first inning where you can bet on a hit and a stolen base. I'm going to go ahead and ladder that on the spot. I'm going to put 0.25 units on 1+ hit and 1+ stolen base. Specials bottom first inning, FanDuel only under the popular tab. Sorry for not having a flip.
Austin Riley stolen base there.
Yeah,
I'll take it. But yeah, first inning, specials bottom first inning. It's under the popular tab. 1+ hit and 1+ stolen base plus 610. Give me that for $12.50.
I think that's a good look because it's like when you do the wrong math, you do the work wrong, we find the same answer. So even if it's not Acuna in the top half or whatever, it's gonna work out.
Yeah, I like it. Just
so I'll take my last spot here just to kind of get off because you mentioned him that he's not really playable. I did bet on Mitch Keller, but unlike Ryan, I appreciate everyone that watches this. So I made sure the line I picked was still available. I took Mitch Keller over 17.5 outs.
Good for you, pal.
I think the strikeouts are going to be there, but man, he's gone into the 6th inning both starts this year, and he is
him such a long leash. Such a long leash.
He is a lot. How many runs is it? Did you guys have it in front? It was
he's got an ERA of 6.5 or something like that.
It was
so
4,
a lot. 6.55 ERA.
Yeah, I think it was 4 last week, or it was 5 and 5. I think, or was it 5 and 5? Yeah, so 10 total runs, and he still goes into the 6th inning. Like, he can find ways to allow runs in the most efficient way possible. Because if you allow 5 runs and you go to the 6th inning and you have 85 pitches, that's crazy. Like, way to go. Way to be efficient with your outs and your home runs that you allow. But kind of what Ryan was saying, I'm just backing him to not be shitty. I mean, he's 2 back-to-back starts, but his exit velo, he is allowing his base on his walks, his hard hit percentage, it's still all in the 70th percentile. I mean, his whiffs, his chase, they aren't there. His xERA is not great. It's middle of the pack, but we know a little bit what this guy should be. And I just think that with his leash against this Tigers team that's hitting under 220 on the year, I just think he should be if he's finding 6 innings almost in games allowing 5 runs, you got to think if he allows 3 runs or 4 runs that he has at least to go 6 innings. Plus, their bullpen isn't super taxed, but it is pretty tax from Saturday because had some longer games. So pretty easy analysis there. Just he gets a team that's not hitting the ball too well, and I just think he's got to eventually figure out how to throw a baseball again.
I'm all for it. Give me that. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Mitch Keller tonight.
I thought he was going to be a guy this year who was
he buy us 3 pitch strikeouts, something quick, just get him over with.
I thought he was going to be a guy that took one of the bigger steps this year as far as pitchers, strikeouts, everything. But he's been slow start, but I really like him too as a pitcher.
Yeah, he got paid too. My goodness, did he get paid? So he's got a little pressure to show that he's worth the money. Maybe that hit him the first 2 starts, and maybe we get him settled in right here.
Yeah, so I'm getting voice from around the horn that we're about halfway through the show, so we're gonna kick it over to Brad for a quick message.
Hey guys, thank you for watching. Guess what? Friends don't let friends watch videos without smashing the like button. So be a friend and smash the like button and ring the bell. It'll notify you when we go live. Also, if you could, press that subscribe button. More subscribers, the more bets we can get out to all of you guys. And drop your favorite bet in the comments. Take care.
Sure.
Oh, thanks, Brad. That was crazy. It's always good to have Brad. I think me and Brad are gonna selfish plug. We're gonna start doing a show on Thursdays. So if you think this show is good and you want to watch something that's not even half as good as this, tune in on Thursdays at I think around noon. So
What a promo.
And if you're not sold now,
if you're not still on
I don't
this
know how
show,
to sell
3 assholes. How about 2 people that are gonna half try?
my God. All right. I that was so official, and I'm thrown off.
Yeah,
What do we do now?
Usually it's just one of us half-assing saying like, "Oh, make sure to like and subscribe," and kick it over to Nick. So that was good to have a real
You just got
legit.
so official. I got chills there.
Yeah, and Brad actually like is good at this. He's good at the whole media thing, unlike all of us. So it's good to have him hop in here and help us out.
Yeah, we needed the help big time. Make sure to like and subscribe. I
And
guess
also,
we can.
while you're at it, make sure to like and subscribe to GoldBoys Network.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Nick, do you want to have your next play?
No.
Because you can give a lot
Yeah.
more.
I don't have too many more. I'll let Ryan take the one we're both on. So I'll go with my other one.
Oh, I have no
that's
write up
nice.
on it at all.
Oh, all right.
I decided like 3 minutes before the show I was going to join you on it. I'm going to pass that right back over to you. Here's the
Okay,
baton.
I'll do it after this one then.
Okay.
So I'm taking an RBI stack against Kyle Freeland with the Diamondbacks. Odds are not the greatest, but these 3 guys absolutely crush him. Gurriel, he is 4 for 9, 3 RBIs, hitting 444 off of him. Walker, 10 for 33, 7 RBIs, 303 off him. And Suarez, 5 for 14, 3 RBIs, 357 off of him. So add in the Coors Field. I just think with Marte and Corbin Carroll ahead of those guys, I think they're going to have a lot of chances tonight. Like I said, odds not the greatest, but you get that when you play at Coors. Everything kind of gets cut a little bit, but I'll take my chances. I'm playing 2, 3, and 4, 0.3 units on 2, 0.2 on 3, and 0.1 on 4, just in case we get the McMahon walk-off grand slam like the other night. So
Man, that was awesome.
that was crazy. So
It's an exciting game. I feel like I don't know if I can say this, but this weekend it feels like there's a lot of walk-offs or like more exciting games, which is always nice.
That one definitely was exciting. Definitely needed after watching Chris Bryant try to hit baseballs.
So we're gonna make a poll for this after the show, but Nick did say that if he had 3 weeks to prepare, he'd be able to strike out Chris Bryant. So we're gonna DM him repeatedly and add him on Twitter so often that he has to.
Let's make it happen.
And we're gonna see what could happen here for Nick to strike out Chris Bryant. The winner, it's gonna be a straight up. It's gonna be $500,000 for the winner. They each will put up the money. So.
Oh, I thought GoldBoys was putting it up.
No, it's your solo challenge.
Okay.
You gotta start saving up for those 3 weeks.
There you go.
Okay. 3 weeks, yeah, I think we'll be good.
Yeah.
If I bet his strikeouts and stuff, I could probably just rack it up beforehand.
You're gonna fund your wages
with himself, yeah.
Strikeouts.
Yeah.
I suppose I'll take next one.
What
Go
you make?
for it.
I did Acuna steal. All right, let me go with my RBI stack. I'm going to go with the Brewers. I think there's a lot to like here. I guess the main hesitation is there's so much to like. There's 5 guys I really had a difficult time deciding between. I kind of want to. I do try to chase a little value, so I don't mind fading the guys at the plus 360s and shit like that. Like Rhys Hoskins. At 6th in the lineup, he was plus 350 for 3. I went ahead and skipped him, although I do really like this spot for him. So I just took the 3, 4, 5 hitters, which is Christian Yelich, Willie Adames, and then Sam Frelick. I took them all for 2 individually. I took them all for 3 individually. I personally do 0.35 on 2. I do 0.15 on 3. But as far as like the thought process behind the play is, Obviously, we get a great American ballpark game. It's 72 degrees. It's sunny. Ball should be flying. It's one of the few very nice weather games that we've had in the early part of the season. And we got a guy, Graham Ashcraft, on the mountain, who I'm just not a believer in this guy at all.
Yeah,
He's a high velo guy. What's that? Yeah, Ashcraft. That's right.
Ashcraft? No, yeah, that guy sucked last year.
Much better known as Ashcraft. He's a high velo guy. He does throw like I think they call it a sinker, but he throws a sinker at like 97. But shit's not scaring anybody. He gets slammed out there. He has an xERA of 4.96. I'm sorry, that was last season. So 4.96 xERA last year. He's 21st percentile in whiff percentage, so he doesn't really miss any bats. He's exactly average at walk rate, so he puts a few guys on base here and there. There's just not a lot of things that he does very well. I guess he induces ground balls at a decent rate, which is the best thing I could say about him. But when he pitched his first game against the Phillies and they teed him the fuck up. Now, granted, it didn't produce a ton of results, but their average exit velocity off of him was 97.7 on batted balls. So like they were smoking these balls just in I guess in some cases just right at somebody. But last year his home numbers were really bad. 5.60 ERA, allowed a 263 average, only struck out 6.37 per 9 innings. So he gives up a lot of contact, and this is not a good ballpark to give up a lot of contact. Current Brew Crew have a really nice history against him. 61 plate appearances. They have 18 hits, 6 walks, 8 extra base hits, including I think it was 5 homers, 3 doubles, a 393 on base percentage. So I think the heart of this order will be set up for success frequently. So I also think the Brewers have a nice shot at hitting potentially more than 1 home run today. So I definitely wanted a piece of this team. I think you could make a great case for taking Williams, Contreras, and Rhys Hoskins, but I certainly would never take 5 guys in the same lineup. I think 3 is my sweet spot, so I'm going 3, 4, 5, Yelich, Adames, Freeland.
Yeah, I think it's also worth mentioning because you did that so well. It's worth mentioning that Ashcraft, he also started the year like good. You remember he started the year kind of like, oh, is this guy legit? And then I think he got hurt and cleaned up, and he came back and just proceeded to be awful. So I think even some of those numbers you mentioned last year, as bad as they are, they're almost even worse considering that you take away those 3, 4, 5 starts that he looked like Jesus Christ, like he was looking like the second coming, and then he just shit the bed. So he really struggled till the end of the year. So
yeah, definitely was excited to target him in this one, especially with the weather. Also, I forgot to mention, but it's not always about just the starting pitcher, but the bullpen behind him is a 4.73 ERA. After that, we also it's an away game, which is something I'm kind of torn on. If a home team is in a good spot, I'll just take them. But it is nice to have that guaranteed 9 innings of chances. So we definitely get that with the away game. So they'll definitely hit in the top of the 9th, which you potentially lose if the home team wins in the bottom of the 9th. So last 2 little notes that I wanted to throw in there here on the Brewers staff.
This guy knows how baseball works, and that's awesome. That's a good thing. And also, it's worth mentioning, just Great American Ballpark is always fun.
Hell yeah, it is. I need to go there. Never been. Driven past it. Never been.
Really?
Pain. Yep.
Anyway, so Nick, what do you got?
I've got since Ryan took the Brewers, it's only fair that I'm going to take the Phillies. I do not think Miles Michaelis is that good at baseball anymore.
I think I saw some people have him as like a dark horse Cy Young, and I don't devalue people's opinions, but I did see that on like 2 shows I watch, and
hold on. This isn't sarcastic, Brian talking.
Yeah, this is a real thing I saw before the season, and I was like, I hate that guy.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's bold.
I mean, he's not. Usually, a Cy Young, you got to be like a strikeout guy, and he's not a strikeout guy at all.
Yeah, you have to be good sometimes.
It also helps to be good to win the Cy Young last night.
Yeah, I mean, he's 1-1 with a 6.10 ERA, 1.65 WHIP, so it's probably not a decent start if you're going for that Cy Young.
ERA can only go down from here, which is
maybe.
That's fair as well.
The only thing he does well is he doesn't put guys on. He does walk guys at 96th percentile in walk rate. But
he's throwing meatballs down the center of the plate.
Exactly. So I'm gonna take Bryce Harper, Baum, and Stott RBI ladder. Harper 6 for 18 off him. Baum 6 for 9. Stott is only 2 for 11. I just like his spot in the order there in case they pitch around anybody. Just And then the bomb value on this was, let me pull it back up, but it was absolutely crazy for RBIs here.
Yeah, 700 and 2,400, I think.
Yeah, and his 4 RBI was like plus 8,500. So for someone hitting that in that lineup, in that spot in the order, I feel like I had to take that just in case he couple doubles, couple single and a double, homer, a lot of possibilities with that lineup. So really, I hate saying this, but I really like the Phillies tonight against the Cardinals.
Yeah, I hate saying this too because I trusted them yesterday and it let me down. They've let me down since 2009. But man, they're minus 104 on the money line. I actually looked at that, and my first thought was my first two teams I thought were a little short on the money line was them and the Dodgers because like Turnbull's been fine. I don't think like I know it was only one sample size, but is he really priced that much worse than this Cardinals team that really their offense is like do they know they're missing like half their team? Like they have some key injuries, they have some guys that like I don't know, they just feels like a weird price for it being Turnbull versus Miles here.
I agree. I mean, I thought Turnbull was phenomenal in that first start, and old Turnbull is it is one start, but this is potentially a new era for Spencer, who somebody told me that he's a part-time plumber in the offseason just for fun, which is just a fun fact that actually might not even be true, but I think it's true.
Ryan, that was great fun. That was a great tidbit.
Great potentially fun fact. But nonetheless, he added a sweeper to his arsenal, which he did not throw a single time as of 2 seasons ago, or at least his version of 2 seasons ago, because he had I believe Tommy John. So, but I mean, this is a guy that had success in the past. He added what looked to be a really nasty pitch. So I'm kind of high on him. I think he. I hope he has a good year. I think he will have a good year now. So like him over 4.5 strikeouts unofficially, which I'll throw out there. And Schwarber to be plus 150 for a home run. Oh my god. That is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life. I mean, what are these books doing? Adolis Garcia was like plus 170 twice over the weekend. No, never mind. I shouldn't say that on live, but fuck off. That's unbelievable to price guys like that.
Man, it's fine.
All right. I have one more. Nick, do you have any more?
I have one more that's not really up yet, so go ahead.
I'm checking out. That's just crazy because sometimes you see those plus 150 lines or whatever you want to say. Yeah, plus 190 is the best price for Schwarber. The over-under is 9, guys. Like 9 at plus money. Like they're basically just saying if Schwarber hits a home run, that's 1 run. That's what they're saying. They're like, no one's gonna be on base for that shit. Like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
So.
First pitch homer like usual.
Yeah.
What's the odds on that? I think you should know this.
He's usually like 2,400, 3,000 for first pitch extra base.
Yeah. Thoughts on Yankees RBI stack? That's one that definitely crossed my mind a little bit. It's a little hard to get up for fade and Jesus Luzardo, but I mean, he will issue the free passes. So on base, there's definitely going to be guys on base. Their offense is hot as hell these last 3 games. Definitely something I considered. I couldn't quite commit because I do respect Luzardo's ability a bit too much here, but definitely wouldn't be mad at you. I'm not sure. I've double checked the weather over there in Yankee Stadium. Oh, it's not too bad. And the wind is out towards the outfield too, so not bad. I wouldn't be mad at you if you did it. I have one more play to round us out, and then we can start building this parlay. We also do have an NBA segment, but we're not going to have an NBA segment due to the fact that there's no games, of course. But my last MLB play, I went Tyler Anderson under 17.5 outs. I believe it's plus 120 for the 3 people listening with Bet365. But if you have DraftKings, which you should, it's plus 115 the last time I checked. And a spot I really, really like. I'm kind of blown away by this price. He started 25 games last year, went under in 16 of them. So, like, we're getting a nice price just off that, that stat alone. He went against the Rays 1 time last year. He pitched 4 innings, and they kicked his ass. So, I mean, he came out last start. He looked really good versus the Marlins. But, I mean, it's the Marlins. Their WRC plus versus lefties right now is 50. Their average versus lefties right now is 194. So they're just not hitting lefties at all. They're obviously losing games like crazy. Now, the Rays, although they share Florida, they are not the Marlins by any means. This is quite an elite offense versus lefties. 278 average, 370 on base percentage, 125 WRC plus. If you're not familiar with the stat, 100 is average basically. So anything above 100 is good, and anything that lengthy above 100 is elite. They were 4th in WRC plus last year versus lefties. So while this year's a small sample size, this also goes back to last year where the lineup was fairly similar. So they've crushed lefties for a good 180 games now. They've faced 3 lefties so far this season, which is Kikuchi went 4.1 innings. Heaney, which I can't really count because he never goes that deep into games anyway, but he went 4.2 innings. And then Gomber for Colorado went 4.0 innings. And then Tyler he's just kind of a shitty pitcher. I know he pitched a gem in that first start, but 20th percentile in expected ERA last year, 28th percentile in expected batting average, 43rd percentile in walk rate, so he's a little below average in putting guys on base through walks, 19th percentile in K rate, so he doesn't miss many bats. So I really like this spot for the Rays. I think they can get to him early, and I think we're getting a really generous price off of one start versus a shitty offense here. So I feel like this should be the juiced side personally, but we'll see if I'm an asshole a couple hours from now, I guess. But
we'll see if you're right. There's a difference. We'll see if you're correct. We already know you.
All right, we'll go with that. That's a nicer way to say it. But yeah, give me Tyler Anderson under 17.5 outs.
Awesome. I like that. I think that's a good look there because we talked about people being good or bad at baseball, and Tyler Anderson kind of falls in that kind of range.
Great. Yeah, not great.
Do you guys want to kick off all baseball for once? Our first ever all baseball 10-1 parlay.
Yeah, I don't think
We missed
Something's gonna hit, right?
egg again last week, and it was honestly, it was so frustrating because we bought down Kobe White from 28.5 to 27.5, which I thought saved the win. And then Tristan McKenzie came out there and said, "You know what?
Nah.
I'm okay throwing the ball in the dirt 16 times in a row." Like,
what's he doing right now?
He has a strikeout. He's through 2.
Oh, he struck out the first batter. It's nonsense. Interesting.
Yeah.
Duke
Kind of sad
for a
to
home run.
Kind of sad to see that happen. I really like that guy. Hopefully he finds his stride. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll let him prove it, but I'm sure he'll be fine. But I'm going to let him prove it before I hop on his props. But yeah, we do have a parlay to build.
Let's go. So for right off the bat, any objections to a PPD of Mitch Keller 5 strikeouts and a win?
No. All for it.
I know. I think we're all on Keller, right? And I like
to some degree.
Is it worth doing like 6 strikeouts, or would you want to do like a PPD with it? That's what I was going to ask. But, like,
I have a little bit more confidence in the 6 strikeouts than the PPD. You're so deep into your Pittsburgh Pirates pandering that minus 132 feels like a fair price. Reese Olson's a halfway decent pitcher, but
so it's plus 110 for the PPD. That's why I was asking for 5 to win. Plus
that is tempting. Better than the minus. We could do. No, that's fine. Let's do it.
It's not even like I'm lobbying for it. I'm just trying to think. We've ran this problem last week where it's a lot easier. It's a lot harder to find plus money spots in MLB than NBA. I feel like it's a lot less like double doubles or a lot less like straight 110 lines because in baseball, if you want to play like a strikeout line, you might have minus 160 on FanDuel. That's minus 115 on DraftKings, and it's like playing that minus 160 isn't like doing much for building up this kind of thing. So
yeah, for sure. I like that as a start. I have something that I like to throw out, and I've obviously discussed it already. Now, it's a risky add to this parlay, but I think for the odds, it's a terrific option. Ronald Acuna stolen base. I mean, that'll get us almost all the way there just like that with the plus. I think Paula said it was plus 200 or 205 now or something like that. It's too risky. I'm not mad at you, but something to consider. What do you guys think?
Nicholas, what do you think about that?
I'm not a stolen base guy at all, so I have no clue.
That's fine. We
my only thing is, like, you know what's funny, Ryan? My thing with the stolen bases, I fucking hate rooting for them because I watch so much baseball on days like today. I just hate rooting for stolen base. It's so,
I understand. We could definitely leave that out.
All finds a gap, and you're like, I hope it doesn't go 2. Like,
it is a very awkward thing to cheer for.
What about Castillo 5?
Oh yeah, 100% in on that. No problem. No hesitations with that.
Honestly, that's fine. Let's see what we get to without it, and then we can always put it in.
That's fine. Works for me. I mean, I mentioned it as kind of like an unofficial lean, but St. Louis is 3rd in the league versus right-handers in K rate. I guess 28th in the league in K rate versus righties. That plus 108 for Turnbull to have 4.5 Ks is definitely staring me in the face. We can even water that down. Minus 225 for 4, I think, is a great price. That'll make us do a little work for getting up to 10-1. But I do like the spot for Turnbull.
Do they have a 4 and a win option if we like Philly already.
I was gonna say, can we PPD it somehow?
Hell yeah.
4 and wins plus 160.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Give me that. And then we have.
I was gonna throw out their money line as a play. So
Okay. Yeah. Fuck yeah. That's even better.
That's already 7-1.
Yeah. I need to add Castillo for what we said 5. And you said 7 to 1.
At this point, anything will get us to 10-1.
We had Keller for 5 and win.
Yeah, so plus 105. It wasn't 110, but it kind of went down a little bit.
Gotcha.
Is there any other spots you guys really? Because I guess anything should get us 10-1 right now, or 7-1.
Yeah. Stolen. What do y'all think about team talk? Dude, I really like that look, Isaac. Minus 154 is a little pricey, but
it doesn't seem like juice though for just a single stolen base. They're gonna get base runners.
I really don't mind taking minus 154.
I didn't realize. I'll be honest. Until I looked this late this morning, I didn't even realize Teheran was still throwing pitches in this league. So they should get base runners.
No kidding. Only picking plus 800 homers. I feel that. I think the Rays money line is priced very nicely. Technically, that's something that caught my eye early. We could go with your Paxton look as well, Brian.
Or, I honestly. What's the Dodgers like plus 1.5 for first 5? That should probably get us there. We don't need a big odds thing.
You said plus 1.5 or minus a half?
Plus 1.5 would get us to 950 for the first 5.
Jeez, okay.
It's not even bad. Like, I don't want to like throw that out there, but if we do just the money line with the push, it's plus 1,375. That's crazy.
Okay, so we got plus 8.9 or 859. Is that what you guys have?
If we do plus 1.5 for you doing the first 5, first 5.
Yeah, minus 320.
Yeah, I get to 956.
I'm confused.
Castillo 5.
Yep.
Keller 5 and a win.
Yep.
And Turnbull 4 and a win.
Yeah.
And then do you have 975? I have 956. What do you have, Nick?
same.
What Ryan, are you getting nerfed on FanDuel?
I don't have a clue. I'm dead serious looking at the same parlay as you guys with 859, but oh well.
So we can. Do you guys want to just do those 4 legs? I don't know.
I'm all set. I like this.
Yeah, I feel like 4. It's like I don't want to say it's still 10-1 parlay, but like, dude, I mean,
Close enough for me.
yeah, I mean, it works. It's you risk it. If you
sure.
put $10 on 100, you risk an extra 46 cents. I'm gonna play it then. It works for me.
Yeah, let's rock. Can you read it off one more good time?
Well, Ryan, I don't know. You might have the wrong thing. So
Yeah, no kidding.
Mitch Keller 5 strikeouts and a win.
That's right.
Luis Castillo 5+ strikeouts, which is just a minus 200 alt there. Spencer Turnbull 4 strikeouts and the Phillies to win, which is plus 160, and then Los Angeles Dodgers plus 1.5 for the first 5 innings at minus 320. And you're not getting 950?
I'm rebuilding it. I'll let you know in 2 seconds. It's gonna be.
Do you think he realized he had it wrong and he has to like save face right now? Is that what's going on?
Dead serious. It's now even less. It's 857. I don't know. We'll figure it out off the show. Don't worry about it.
That's so funny though. How is that even possible?
His is now minus 250 for the whole thing.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
I am confused, but that is okay. We are at 550. We got a parlay. We got all our straights out, all of our stacks out. I think we're all set.
Yeah, that was a good show. I feel like I'm going to put this in. I'll make sure I set it up for the chat. In the Discord, I'm going to save the link.
We'll run through a little recap to finish this off.
Awesome.
Nick.
I'll go first because I had to lease them out. So I'll just peel the Band-Aid off. So I have 2 half-unit plays. One is the Dodgers first 5 money line at minus 120 or minus 125, and you get the push. And also in a similar regard, I have Paxton 4+ strikeout, probably with Bailey over, under 5.5, kind of the same line. I'm thinking it's plus 102 on FanDuel. And then my other play is Mitch Keller over 17.5 out, which is minus 115.
Okay.
All right. And I have, these are all same game for these 3. The Diamondbacks Rockies game. All 3 of these guys not to strike out, playing these solo. Corbin Carroll plus 100, Charlie Blackmon plus 100, and Gabriel Moreno plus 100. I also have a no strikeout parlay, Jeff McNeil of the Mets, Luis Campusano, Padres, and Luis Arias of the Marlins. That's plus 476 on DraftKings. You can play Arias solo if you want. And then RBI stacks. The first one I have is the Diamondbacks, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Gurriel, Walker, and Suarez. Going against Freeland, playing 2, 3, and 4 RBIs. And then doing the same with the Phillies guys, the 3, 4, and 5, with Harper, Bohm, and Stott, 3, 4, and 5 RBIs as well.
Sounds good. Brian, why don't you rattle off that parlay one more time?
I just put in the chat too. It's Keller 5 strikeouts in the win, Turnbull 4 strikeouts in the win, Castillo 5 strikeouts, and then the Dodgers plus 1.5 F5. So the Browns had the sun earlier. No, me and Nick both had the plus 956, 56 whatever. So that's concerning.
Mine's plus 37,000 right now. It just shot the other way.
I'm pretty sure I realized what my error is. I manually built out these PPDs instead of using the actual.
Oh, I just used the pre-made ones. They're always higher.
Yes, that's where we're having our differences here. That makes sense. Okay, for my plays, I went Luis Castillo over 5.5 strikeouts. I believe FanDuel has the best price there. I went over to the Milwaukee Brewers for my RBI stack. I took the same one as Nick, by the way. I don't know if I made that clear earlier, but I'll just double down with Nick. I took the same 3 Phillies as him, which is Bryce Harper, Alec Boehm, and Bryson Stott for 2 and 3. And then I went over to the Brewers, and I took Christian Yelich for 2 and 3. I took Willie Adames for 2 and 3, and then I took Sam Frelick for 2 and 3. I had Mitch Keller 5.5 strikeouts lined up for the show. Got a little juiced out on me. I'll kind of leave it up to you. Minus 140, I believe, is best price on ESPN. I'll leave that up to you, like I said. I went Ronald Acuna for a half unit. I did a stolen base for Acuna. Then actually kind of like a weird on-air live ad. I did a bottom of the first special under the popular tab on the Braves game for a hit and a stolen base in the first inning at plus 610 for 0.25 units. And then my final play is Tyler Anderson under 17.5 outs, plus 115 on DraftKings last I looked, plus 120 if you have Bet365. I believe that will do it for our show. We have the MLB only edition tonight, so should be pretty exciting. Good luck on your national championship bets as well as your baseball bets. Thank you to Sleeper for sponsoring us, and thank you for watching, and we will see you next week.
Hey guys.